Welcome. Today we're going to be talking about complex trauma. So if that's something that you want to learn about, stay tuned and I'll explain what it is. Hi, if you don't know who I am, I'm Sindy V King. I'm a creator of Calling My King. I help transform women to create lasting love through Vedic astrology, neuroscience, and transactional analysis so that she becomes the queen of love. Today, we're going to specifically talk about complex trauma, and sometimes it comes off as it's not defined in the DSM, and which is totally fine. So I want to be able to explain it to you what it is, and so that you can get the right support that you need, especially if you are dealing with some sort of trauma and you wanted to know if it's complex or not. So simply, I will put up a definition what complex trauma is. I'll leave it up here. So complex trauma can be exposed from childhood, and it could be multiple incident of trauma events. Often it's invasive, it's interrupting by nature, and it's a wide range of, and it has a long-term effects as well through these exposures. So these events could actually happen as an abuse or profound neglected. So you can see those things that happens quite often throughout the individual person's life being repeated again. So that could happen from childhood, and it moves into adulthood as well. Domestic in the family, or even violent. It could be civil war as well that I have seen. War with trauma is another one. Culture dislocation is another one. Sexual exploration and trafficking as well. But majority of it, any sort of childhood trauma, it comes from within inside their home than anything else that I have noticed, and it's somebody that you know. So we want to talk about the sign and symptoms for this. So the sign and symptoms of complex trauma comes in persistent sense of threat. So this means it feels real for you, and the image feels real, like it's actually happening right now. And you feel threatened. You are going to be hyperventilating. You're going to have your toes going to feel like it needs to curl in, and you feel like you need to be in a fetus position. So the second point I really want to talk about, it actually feels like you're re-experiencing the trauma, and that means it's here and now at the moment. And it makes you freeze, so that gets in you the fight or flight. It also triggers any sort of emotion that comes off like a flashback as well, and these are old trauma that you already have survived, and this is making you feel like you're in it right now. You really want to try to avoid anything that has to do with the trauma event. If the trauma incident involves a wooden chair in the scene, you're going to try currently avoid any wooden chair being in the same room with you. It just creates that reminder of the trauma. And you possibly can have a disassociation in the process as well. So I really want you to take care of your trauma. And I hope I have defined some of the sign and symptom of what you could do about it. I have a wonderful video, and it's slightly a little bit long, but it gives you the deep information about how to get rid of trauma for good. I also will leave a link down below in Patreon to help you find resources for yourself to really shift the state of the symptoms while you're looking for the right type of treatment. I think it's really important to do that. If you're not treating the complex trauma, you're going to be living that sort of state and in cycle, and it's going to be looping, and your body wants you to take care of it. There's a wonderful book. It's called The Body Keeping Score. It's a really great book to really understand how, if you don't remember it, your body will remind you about it, that it wants to be treated. So just because you're not banged up and bruised up in front of you right now, it doesn't mean that your internal is banged up. So I really want to thank you for taking the time to be here with me and watching my video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.